So hey, it's Melissa Mink back to give you the realest of reads. Trying to attempt to do videos with multiple interruptions, but you've been left in this heartbroken energy with people who have been causing you chaos behind the scenes. People who have continued to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, have pretended to support you, have pretended to be your friend and smiling in your face. And all the while, you've had all these different obstacles, and why it's been such a hard time moving forward and progressing and becoming better. And not really understanding why your prosperity has been held up, why you've been in this stagnated energy, unable to produce anything real and solid. And now there's certain determining factors of all these reasons behind everything that's been like swept under the rug. It's like needing to pluck the sheepskin off of the wolf, needing to really see beneath the surface of that cloudy judgment. Is looking deeper. It's taking a deeper look. Okay, so we have the chaos that has kept you in darkness with hidden motives and intentions. People who really have held back on you. People who have actually really seen you in your light, in your divine light. But it's as if they just didn't want to reveal to you or allow you to see who you really were this whole time. Maybe not revealing to you who you were and keeping the fact that they see all these good things in you, but not wanting to share that with you, wanting to keep that hidden from you. The fact that you're really not a terrible person, the fact that you have a great heart, you have a great spirit, and you have a great light about you. People who are full of darkness with fragmented energy have been on a divine assignment of their own to withhold truth, to siphon your light, to drain your energy, to harvest your energy for them to gain material, for them to progress. We have Hermit coming out of Hermit mode with this double energy. It's understanding what's behind the mask. It's like you've been in this hermit mode trying to understand the different warfare and the different demonic assignments that have been following you. It's about understanding that darkness. It's tearing off the mask from yourself and from the mask from others, in order to understand that everyone who proclaims to be your friend is not always your friend. And that if you are being held back in some type of way, what is the reasoning behind that? Who are the people that you have around you? And it's putting a label on each individual. Here we have the Lovers in the reversed. The cards don't lie. The confirmation doesn't lie. The fact that it keeps coming out in the energy. that after everything that's been swept under the rug comes out from under the rug about all these different hidden truths, how do you move forward? How do you move forward after finding out these different hidden truths about these so-called, lovers and friends, people who were supposed to be there to support you, but left you high and dry, left you to figure things out on your own, abandoned and forsook you in your greatest need. It's like taking a pause and a moment of silence in order to really sit here and figure these things out. Long enough to be able to be real with yourself about who and what is for you. Because I can for sure tell you that you've had greedy, lustful people around you. People who like to rush in. But then, guess what? There's no solid commitment there. People who want to rush in just to cause heavy burdens. People that want to, sow wild oats. They want to cause chaos and rack up all this negative and dark karma for themselves because they've made terrible decisions. And then when the shit hits the fan and things are going terribly because of their wrongful choices and actions, they want to rush in for a new beginning, a new start with you. But you've been sowing righteous seeds, sowing and watering your garden, walking in the light, walking in your divine purpose, destiny, and calling, striving to become a better person. And it's like you have to meet your match, which is what keeps the Spirit of God keeps telling me. Know your value and worth. Know what you've been investing your energy into. And if you're sowing into yourself every day to become a better person, the people who are rushing towards you, have they been doing the same work on themselves? The same soul searching? The same intellectual, spiritual work on themselves? Because if these people have not looked within, are they really a match for you? Do they take accountability? Do they take responsibility? Do they sow seeds of righteousness or unrighteousness? Are they deep enough for you, or do they not know how to go within? Do they not know how to check their shadow and claim those lost parts of themselves, those imperfect parts of themselves that cause them not to be as good of a partner for someone else? Because there's a difference between doing your shadow work and being willing to do your shadow work and becoming a better person, willing to become a better person. But not everyone is willing to do that. Not everyone is willing to do better and be better. And you might ask yourself that question, why? Why don't people want to do better? It's pride, it's ego, it's I'm better than everybody, so why should I? I'm the best. I don't need to do any work on myself. But see, we have Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. There's just a lot of people walking around like there was nobody here when I started, but you know, they want to just... And I'm not ashamed of tarot, but I do respect how other people feel about it, and I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, so... Because I'm not a witch. Like, everybody thinks that if you do tarot, you're a witch. But if I am a witch, I'm a good witch, so... But at the end of the day, the point is that certain things give us a bad rap, or like you don't care about your rap, but at the same time you want to live your life and not offend others out of respect. You get what I mean? It's like you're not trying to offend anyone by living your life the way that you are. You just want to be free to live your life the way you want to live it without people becoming offended. And it's like you're not even bothering anyone. You're not even bothering anyone. You're staying in your own lane, and yet people are like mourning and grieving and sad over the fact that you're living in your authentic energy. It's very bothersome to some people because this keeps coming up. It's like staying in your own lane is really just bothering people. And like they can't pick a fight with you because you're not even communicating with them. But yet they still find you offensive. And you have to question yourself. You're like, I don't go around these people, certain individuals. I don't talk to anybody. I stay in my own lane. But somehow you still feel like there's someone watching you and becoming offended by who you are as a person or the way you present yourself in the world, as if certain things are negative. They find you offensive because you're walking in your authentic energy. It's like people that aren't able to stop you from, speaking your truth or living in your truth and walking in your pure authentic energy according to your calling and who God has called you to be. And these people, haven't done the work on themselves to become who they really are, their authentic self. And that's offensive to people who still have skeletons in their closet. It's like making people sad because they are in this wounded warrior energy, carrying the weight of the burdens that they created for themselves, or unable to break certain generational curses simply because they're walking around in disobedience. You can't be disobedient to the universe and sow seeds of unrighteousness and expect good things to happen. So you're walking around and you're doing the right thing. You're living life according to universal law and practice, which is pretty much treating others the way you want to be treated and sowing the right seeds in order to be your best self, going within and doing your shadow work in order to recover those lost, broken pieces of yourself so that you could become a more healed, healthy, and whole version of yourself. But other people who are unwilling to do that, or they don't understand maybe how to do it, there's a lot of different reasons why it may be happening. But The point is, it's like you have to watch out for individuals who continue to make reasons and excuses why they can't do better. Because those people really are not a match for you. And that's just what it's all about. Sorry. So we have this rushing in energy with this King of Cups in the reverse. People who like to rush in, but then once they get to you, they pursue you, and by spying on you and your energy and trying to connect to you, even though they're not talking to you, they're like sending you spiritual messages like, oh, I'm thinking about you, and making you think about them and wonder how they're doing and all this. And they're all up in your energy. But then once they actually show up on your doorstep and ring the doorbell, they dump their cup. They hurry up and act like, I really don't fuck with you like that. So why are you all up in my energy then? Why are you thinking about me? Why are you wondering about me? Only for me to open the door to allow you in finally in the 3D, the real world, in real life. We try to make a commitment to these people who are constantly looming around, thinking about us, and you know they're spiritually stalking you. You just know it. You could feel it, right? To the point where you're like, you know what? Maybe I should give this person another chance, even though they messed up. And you do it. For what? For them to dump their cup. And guess what? Where did it go? Hold on. I just found it. I'm sorry. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. The Chariot in the reverse. It becomes an imbalanced situation. Because they act as if they really want you. They're steady paying attention to everything that you're doing. But yet, there's never any love in that cup. There's never any real commitment. There's never any real substance or foundation to build upon, because there's nothing real for them to offer you. So it just becomes this burden. They put all these burdens on your back, and this is where the light is shining in with the Emperor in the reverse. This is karmic masculine energies that continue to approach a divine feminine, a person who is completely out of their league. And it's not boastful. It's the fact that the divine feminine is, you are humble enough to understand that, I don't know where I put my cards. Where did I put, oh, they're up here. You're humble enough to realize that you have to do work on yourself. It's like the divine feminine is humble enough to know that she has to get in the face of God and work on herself daily. And she's deserving of other divine masculines that transform daily. They admit their fault, they admit their wrong, their imperfection, and know that every day they need to work on themselves to become a better person. And it's like the distorted masculines look at the divine feminine in her glory, and people look at you and they see the beauty and they want to approach you, but their spirit is filthy because they don't do any work on themselves. So they're not a match. Anybody who's not willing to work on themselves daily is not a match for you. People who aren't willing to go through a spiritual transformation and come out on the other side are unable to approach. And if they do approach, it's like you're being called to turn it down. You're being called to recognize your own value and worth. Not in a boastful way, but a person who's carrying around all this like excess spiritual baggage is just gonna weigh you down. A person who's not willing to transform and grow is just gonna bring too much weight and chaos and drama, because you're on a chariot moving forward until a distorted masculine of any kind approaches your doorstep. And it goes back to the reading that I did yesterday, which is recognizing the red flags early. Okay, we go through all this chaotic energy of experiencing all these different energies that approach us in order for us to put our finger on the ones that are wrong and right for us. The only way we can learn how not to make mistakes is by making mistakes. So we've made a lot of past mistakes. But instead of beating ourselves up about it, or feeling like we haven't gotten anywhere in life because these lessons had to be learned and we feel like we've taken all these detours, it's like God's like, no, like you needed to be approached by different energies in order to like put your finger on. This is like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Good energy, bad energy, good energy, bad energy. And like learning how to like put each person in their place. And now we're going to be tested in a way that's like, okay, are you going to pick up on the red flags early? And are you going to shut the door when it needs to be shut because you know your value and worth? Or are you going to allow people who aren't any good for you to come in and take up room and space in your life? Because at some point, it's like you have to realize that this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse leaves you on a repetitive cycle with the World in the reverse. It's like when you begin a goal, you have a goal in mind. You want to complete that goal at some point. You don't want to leave it halfway. And like you need to be light on your feet spiritually in order to set goals, but also to achieve those goals. And if you're weighed down with baggage, you can't achieve your goals. So when people bring in the toxicity, when they bring in the drama, it causes distractions to where you can't keep your eye on the prize. You can't keep your eye on your ultimate goal. I'm going to try to wrap this up. So we have the Lovers with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. And we also have the High Priestess in the reverse, a lack of intuition. It's like I just said, in the past years, you have not really had real sharp intuition when it comes to who and what to deal with. I feel like your spirit's been testing the waters by dealing with different energies and kind of like getting burned in certain situations to where you're like figuring out, you've dealt with situations longer than you really should have in some situations, certain cases, but it's like now though you're becoming a pro. And you're going to pick up on these like signals and these red flags a lot quicker. Because these not using your intuition has 3 of Cups in the reverse, taking away your ability to celebrate. And these, cards are just confirming everything that I just said, that I've been saying. You have this vision for your life. This vision, this purpose, visualizing yourself lifting off in this plane and taking off and flying into the air. Being able to travel into a world of your dreams. But you can't do that if you're weighed down. You can't do that if you're distracted. If you're pouring into cups that have holes in it. People who can't accept the cup of love that you have to offer. People don't see the value in a cup of love. They just take it for granted if they haven't worked on themselves. If people haven't been through anything, they can't. Some people just haven't learned enough soul lessons. And that's why sometimes you just need to leave people right where they are. Because again, it came up in the energy. If people are too shallow, it's because they haven't been through enough things in life in order to understand what is truly important. And you can't convince anyone of that. You can't convince anyone that your cup of love that you're trying to offer is of any type of value. If they don't find the value in what it is you have to offer, you can't continue to give it. You have to recognize when you're being taken for granted, when you're not actually, your energy is really not being received correctly. It's like you've been through enough soul lessons in order for your soul to evolve to a point of being deep enough to understand what's most important in life, which is not the material. It's the emotions. It's the heart, So you deciding not to put the work into certain situations is actually God. God is telling you that that's actually the right thing, and that's what's actually going to bring you justice. See, because we have the devil right behind it. And then we have death. So you bringing a death to certain situations is God's way of God telling you to bring death to certain situations is going to be your justice. It's turning your back on the wrong people. People who are walking around in this devil energy. Because the devil was right behind that card, and I'm going to show it to you. Or actually, no, not the devil card. The sacrifice card with the hangman. So, it's like if you don't sacrifice the wrong relationships, it's like you will become the sacrifice. Your time will be sacrificed. Your energy will be sacrificed. Your money will be sacrificed. You will be the sacrifice. Your heart, your mind, your energy, your love, it's just all going to go down the drain because you're supposed to be sowing into something that's creating a lasting future and foundation. And if you sow into the wrong thing, you're actually not going to reap any type of harvest for the future. Because the person is just wasting it away and not actually putting it toward anything that's beneficial. So, dumping your cup, and I feel like this is God here. It's like God is actually telling you to step into somewhat of a ruthless energy at this time. Not to be mean and nasty, but to be just a little bit more cutthroat when it comes to your energy and your time. So yeah, once you become clear with these illusions here, the moon in the reversed, you can begin to take action in the right direction, away from 10 of Cups in the reverse, unhappy situations that don't bring you victory. 6 of Wands in the reversed. And here's your betrayal card. You have a lot of betrayal of the past. People who have just simply wasted your time. And God is telling you to not repeat old cycles, not to repeat things that... He's not asking you, though, to just give up on things without actually contemplating on if it's right for you or not, you know? But taking an honest evaluation and understanding that certain cycles are just meant to come to an end. And not living bitter and, you know, not being bitter about it, not being heartbroken, and not really just living in that emotion for too long, because some things are just spiritual cycles, you know, karmic cycles that are here to teach us a lesson, and we're here to teach others a lesson. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I needed to say to conclude this message. Holy Spirit, holy angels, can I have a concluding message? Yeah, it's just no longer juggling. You will begin no longer juggling once you holding back energy for Pentacles. Once you start actually holding back from the wrong people, collaboration energy, and moving on and walking away. This is the walking away card, okay? Queen of Pentacles in the reversed. Yeah, that's it. And that was the concluding message to everything that I had been saying, is that God is calling you to use more logic versus being so much in your emotions. It's like, I know you have had a past with certain people, and you wish that you could take certain people with you into this new season. And that certain goodbyes actually may come with pain, but there's also going to be, the victories are going to far outweigh the sacrifices that you have to make, even if they hurt at the moment. Because there's just certain, like, situations that are just no longer good for you. And because we have this that came out when I put my cards away. This is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is about spiritual attacks, okay? There's certain people who were your friend on some level. Like, you've been climbing different levels and you've been next to each other each step of the way. But it's like, at some point, your soul is just outgrowing certain people. And instead of you seeing eye to eye still, it's like now they're starting to look above and see you standing above them. And it's not your fault. But it's like there's a dividing line there. It's a change of season. It's I have to go on and fulfill my purpose. And if you're not going to grow with me, then you have to go. If you don't grow, you have to go. And that's just where I'm going to leave it at. It's not, it's like this is a situation that's just beyond you. The decisions and the, I don't know why I heard cataclysmic and cosmic. This is a cosmic shift. This is like an organic cosmic shift. These are energies that are moving around. And it's either bringing people together or it's just moving people away from each other. And so I need to get to this bottom of this part, is that I need to get to this and then I'm finished, is that when we leave people behind or go in a different direction, we are stuck with this feeling of guilt. Of, if I could have did something better, if I could have said something more, if I could have, I'm heartbroken because I thought this person was going to be with me for my entire life. But it's like, to make you feel a little bit better, this is a cosmic shift. It's a cosmic shift. The universe is moving this around. And this is the thing with that King of Swords with the reverse that came in. Certain decisions that are being made are not your decisions. That's God coming in. And God is coming in like a wrecking ball. And it seems like it's very ruthless energy. Like it's cold. But really, it's like God is stepping on the scene in order to intervene and make decisions that have to be made. Because there's a bigger purpose. It's His purpose that needs to be pursued. So anything that's not like energetically aligned has to separate in order for people's paths to continue going forward. It's a bigger, brighter destiny for certain people. And other people have already grown as much as they're going to grow. They're not going to grow past a certain level and limit. And it's like, God knows that. God knows who those people are. God knows who's going to soar way ahead and who's going to continue to grow versus who's only going to grow so far. And like they've already like reached their limit. And so I'm sending positive energy to you now, that you release the guilt, the fear, and that you gain courage and strength. That your true soul tribe is waiting on the other side of this process. God is going to bring in new soul energy. Sit with yourself and allow yourself to heal, because there's something about sitting in the silence and just allowing yourself to recover all of those like lost, fragmented pieces of yourself that have been lost in this process of figuring things out. You've become wounded and brokenhearted and shattered by all these different truths that were very unexpected. Being done wrong by people that you never could have imagined. And so your whole perception on life and relationships and people and situations has become fragmented, and your perspective has to change. And the only way for that to happen is to be still and be thankful that God is still working on you and that He's making a way to make things better for you, and that everything is going to work together for the highest good of all, regardless of what those decisions that the universe is making for us. So right now you're not in the driver's seat, so you don't have to carry that burden and that weight upon yourself that these are your decisions. You're not making the decision to cut anyone off. The universe is making that cut for you. It's not you. So you don't have to carry that weight and burden. Have a beautiful day.